Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book fiends, and welcome to the dungeons of Bizarre Brain Comics. I am your host, the Dark Librarian, and I am here to tell tales of terror. And I have my good friend Yorick here to lend me a head. Because he has no hands, you see. Yeah. And this is our spooky month. Oh, so we're going to talk spooky stuff. And what we're going to look at today is this one right here. Oh, yeah. Ooh. My hood's coming down over my eyes and I can't see. Oh. This is the PS Art Books Facsimile edition of Weird Mysteries Magazine, Volume 1, Number 1 from 1959. And it's facsimile because here you see this nice cover. Ooh. But inside is the reproduction of the cover as it originally appeared. And weird mysteries. And this is it was of course a black and white horror magazine sized, but is in comic book format or semi-comic book format. This is even before the war on horror comics, and of course this circumvented the Comics Code Authority, put it on the magazine racks, and was intended for a more mature audience. And this, as I said, the facsimile shows a lovely. Oh, I noticed that lovely cover painting. See, because one of the things about this, it has some early George Tuska artwork, and although there's no credits here for either the interior art or the painted cover, you can see George Tuska did this painting, and it looks like it's a variation of a scene from the Phantom of the Opera. And it said facsimile because it even carries the old original ads and the like. Making your career with United Airlines, this book features a horror host. And his name is Morgan, and that is spelled Morgue''N. It's like a morgue, the place where they take the dead people. And he is described as the monster of ceremonies. And he is our horror host. And some weird stuff for the title page and contents page. And you can see. This is right in the middle of the story, but most of the stories in here are either 3 or 4 pages long, so they're not very long. They have more text, and so it's kind of almost halfway being a text story. And this issue also does feature, if I can quickly find it here, a text. Of course, I can't find it, but it does have a text horror story in here. Several pages long. It has like 2 pages inside, and then is continued to another 2 or 3 pages farther on. So it does have text. And here we see some. Yeah, this is one of the stories here. If you can see it, that has some of the George Tuska artwork on it. And I don't know who the other creators are. There's no credits for the writing or artists. And one thing that is unusual, it's not in this one, but I'll use this as an example. Sometimes this, depending on the story and the way the artist did it, it is done conventionally. Left page, top to bottom, right page, top to bottom. Some of the stories has it so it's told in the 2-page spread, starting top left, going clear across both the spread, and then down to the bottom and clear across the spread. Makes it a little awkward when you can't tell, like I did when I was reading it, when you can't tell until he said, that doesn't seem right. And you have to go out, because it doesn't tell you that. And it alternates. There was even in one story, it featured both ways. Well, it was a 3-page story, I think. And it featured it both ways. And we'll just take a little look at one of these stories here. This is called Easy Dies It. And here is Morgan, our horror host, introducing the story. And this is about a fellow working in a steel mill, seeing one of the secretaries who has to go to the foreman. And it's all that's immaterial. He just sees the guy, and the girl, and he takes a liking to her, and she seems to spot him, and they do a little bit of eyeball talking, and it goes down, and it gets introduced by the foreman, and he asks her out, and they go on a date. He's getting ready, goes on the date. They go out, then they start seeing each other, having picnics and stuff. But she's always home. She has a sick mother at home, and she has to be back home before dark. So he always takes her home. He makes sure she gets home, and he wants to go to her place, and he wants to meet his mother and her mother and all that other stuff. So finally, she invites him over to her place at 9. So it's it's in the summertime. So it's right about sunset, and so he's introduced to the girl's mother, and then she's so glad, and then she transforms into a werewolf and goes to attack him. But the girl intervenes and stops her mother and puts a collar on and changes her in place. Says, "I'm sorry about that. Mother has no right to do that." And then she changes into a werecat and holds him. And so he is horrified to find out that she is a werecat. But she doesn't hurt him. She wants him to be her mate and help her take care of her mother. And this is another little story with some werewolf action and stuff. And all the artwork is admirable. Of course, it's old-fashioned and kind of grim. The techniques use a lot of duotone paper for the cross hatching, for the texture and grayscales. And then here's part of the text story, but it ends up with a not part of the facsimile, which is a Bernie Wrightson illustration on the inside back cover, an early one from '72. So that's what I've got for you this time. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Have you ever seen these before? Do you like this kind of stuff? This is why it's not pre-code horror. It is equivalent to pre-code horror, and it is a fun and interesting read. So thank you for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. And remember, comics are art.